Hello everyone, my name is Abby and I'm the Young Adult Assistant at the Twin Lakes Library System and I use she, her pronouns. So today for Slice of Life, I am actually going to be taking you through the basics of how to play Dungeons & Dragons or D&D. So like I just said, this is the basics, so I'm going to be attaching the link to the website that gives a lot more information than I'm going to give and explains things a little more in depth. But if you don't know what D&D is, it is a fantasy role-playing game, and you basically get a group of people together, which I will mention that you can play this online, just because I know with COVID we're trying to be safe. So you can video chat, and there are online versions of the game for you to play. But anyways, basically it's a role-playing game where you all tell a collaborative story together. That features characters of your own creation. So, how you start is basically you are going to select what type of character you want to have as your character. So, some of the options are human, elf, dwarf, halfling, gnome, and half-orc. And of course, there are more to choose from, but those are some of the basics. And then you're going to choose what class that your character is in. So, that could be a fighter, a wizard, a cleric, a rogue, a ranger. Those again are very basic. There are a lot more options. I know that one time when I was playing, I had my character was a paladin as her class. So there's a lot of different options. And then based on whatever character you select, you're going to have specific stats for that character. So when you play D&D, you are going to have a character sheet. I'm going to see if I can show you what that looks like, if it'll go. There's a bad glare, as you can see. See if it'll work. Sorry. Okay, there you go. So this is what a character sheet, a basic character sheet for D&D looks like. So it's going to have a bunch of different things that you're going to have. So like your intellect, your strength, your armor class, your deception abilities, your wisdom, charisma, acrobatics, how you handle animals, athletic ability. There's a lot of different stuff. And a lot of that is going to be determined by what kind of character you select to play as. So once you pick your character and you pick what class they are, you're going to go through and see what kind of weapons they have, what their armor strength is going to be, what their intellect levels are, and all these other different things that you will then put into your character sheet to then reference while you're playing the game. It will help you as you go along, which I'll explain a little bit more how that all fits in. So before I go on, I just wanted to share the word, our code word for today for SRC, and that is going to be roll. So there you go. So you'll just enter that, and that way we'll know that you watched the video. So after, now that you have selected your character, there's going to be one person who acts as the Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master does not have a character of their own, but they act as sort of the head of the game. So basically their job is to act as the narrator of the game as well as the referee of the game. So it's their job to describe the world in which this game takes place, which the Dungeon Master can create their own world, or they can reference a world that's been previously used in previous D&D campaigns. Those are all listed on the website if you decide to go that way. But you can have a Dungeon Master who decides to create their own sort of world and utilizes elements from the website that are provided. So after the Dungeon Master has created the world, they then also play as monsters that your characters will go on about battling within the world. So their job is to narrate this world. They create the world, they sort of create the rules for the world, they create all the dangers of the world and the different things that could happen, and your job as a character is to, play a part or act within that world. So as the game goes on, sorry, I'm using my little reference sheet. So as the game goes on, in each different scene in the game, as each part goes on in the game, you will be introduced into different little scenes, and in each scene you will decide what you're going to do as a character. So that could be you decide you want to investigate something, or you just want to keep walking, or like let's say there is a treasure chest in the scene and you decide, oh, well, I want to investigate the treasure chest because there could be things in there that I could use. There could be money, there could be food, there could be something. So after, the DM or the Dungeon Master has explained that there is a chest there and you decide, oh, I want to investigate it, the DM, it's up to them whether or not they think that this could possibly be something that you don't know how to do, or you might not be able to do, or how difficult that's going to be. So the DM will then decide for you to make like an ability check or a skill check. And this is where the dice come into D&D. So you're going to have a 20-sided dice. These are what some look like. That's one. Another one. My roommate let me all of her dice, so I appreciate that. But that's going to be the dice that you're rolling. And the DM has a number that they have selected in their head that matches they think the difficulty of the task is. So say I'm the DM and there's this chest, and I think it'd be like a level, you'd have to roll a 14 or higher in order to open it. So that's the level of difficulty is. So if I rolled the dice, and then, you then add on the character ability in that area. So it could be intelligence, it could be wisdom, it could be lock-picking ability. There are a bunch of different things. But you have the character ability, which is something you've written down on your sheet already, and has been provided through character stuff that you've done previously. And then, plus a proficiency bonus. And that total number, if that number is 14 or higher, you're then able to open the chest. But if not, you don't get to open the chest. And anyone can try this on each of their turn, but that's just what would happen. An important thing to note about the dice and rolling, so it's a 20-sided dice. So if you roll a 1, you have like a critical failure, which means you definitely did not open the chest, and other things might happen to you, or the action that you wanted to do, you just can't do. But if you roll a 20, it's like a critical hit, and it's a guaranteed success. So the last thing that I'm going to basically tell you about are battles in D&D. So this is kind of where the monsters come in that I briefly mentioned before. So when you are in an area and you come across a monster, you then decide that you're going to battle it. So at the start of every battle, everyone makes an initiative roll, and this includes the DM who's playing the monster, I believe. And so that determines the order of who goes first and who goes last in the battle. So in each turn, characters can do one of 3 different things. So that's entirely up to what you decide you want to do. But you can move around in your turn, so you can go somewhere farther, somewhere closer if you're too far away. You can do an action, which is launching an attack on the monster, or casting a spell if you have magical abilities. So those are some things. Those are, again, dependent upon what kind of character you have and their abilities. And then you can do a bonus action if you decide, which is a special ability or something really quick that you can do in that turn. So I think like an example of that would be if you had like a healing kit and the ability to heal, you could heal someone who maybe wasn't doing so well in the battle. So after all that, so to attack an enemy, the player has to roll a 20-sided die again. And if the number they roll is equal or higher than the armor class of the monster, they get a hit. So let's say you're battling, I'm trying to think of a monster that we did once. I think it was a bear. There's a bear. We were hunting in the woods, and there was a bear, and the armor class, I think it was like 15. It was pretty high up. So, you have to roll, and if I rolled, so like that, I just rolled a 14. You're seeing a 20, but it was a 14. But that means I wouldn't have hit the bear. So that's what happens there. if I were to have rolled, so let's say I rolled a 20 when I was battling said bear, that means I definitely hit it. And then I would roll another dice, and this is a dice that is dependent upon your character. So I think like each character comes with a specific type of dice that goes into how they battle and they attack. So based on that dice is then what you would roll, and then you'd see how much damage that you would get on said monster. If the character, so each character sort of, and this includes like the monster, so once they run out of hit points, they fall down, and if they are unable to heal themselves, they die. Which means your character could potentially die if it ran out of hit points and was not healed. And then you would have to make a new character that was introduced into the game a little bit later. But there's a possibility your character can die, but the monster also can die. And if the monster dies, there's usually some type of reward at the end of that sort of battle. So those are the very basic instructions for D&D. There's a lot more that goes into it, but I just sort of wanted to give a general overview. But, all of that tied into the storyline, you have a specific goal within the story, and these are the different basic elements that would go into that. So yeah, so have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.